Disintegrate, retaliate, thrive, reciprocate。今回4つの動詞を紹介します。話をしているときに動詞が必要なんですよね。動詞がないと話にはなりません。でもできればつまらない話よりも面白い話の方がいいと思いますね。じゃあその話を面白くするためにはぴったりな動詞を選ばなきゃいけませんね。その瞬間、そのストーリー、そのエモーション、そのシーンに合わせて。例えば run という動詞がありますよね。普通に使ってもいいんですが sprint を使うとその速さが伝わりますよね。頭の中のイメージがしやすくなります。日本語でも同じです。普通の走るよりももうダッシュするの方がその速さが一瞬で伝わりますよね。He ran home to watch his favorite TV show. He sprinted home to watch his favorite TV show. どちらの方が速さを感じますか？もちろん、sprint を使った方がその速さを感じられると思います。By learning new verbs, you're not only expanding your vocabulary, you're also giving yourself the opportunity to make your English sound more natural and engaging. The first verb is disintegrate. 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 Here's the meaning in Japanese. Now, you may be familiar with the verb integrate or the noun form integration. In modern Japanese, you say integration. It's basically the opposite of that. Integrate means to put things together. Disintegrate means for things to break apart. Now, it's not just a simple breaking up. The verb disintegrate gives the feeling of something breaking up into lots of really small pieces and basically rendering it useless. It feels like it would be almost impossible to put back together. This can happen very gradually or suddenly. If I put this piece of toilet paper in the water, it will gradually disintegrate. So, what kind of things can disintegrate? Physical objects, materials, buildings, food, biological matter, bodies, organisms, cells, abstract concepts, systems, organizations, ideas, beliefs, technology, electronics, spacecraft, satellites. The ancient scrolls had disintegrated over the centuries, making them unreadable. So we often find this with historical artifacts, things which have been found maybe under the ground or maybe in the pyramids or maybe in a cave or something. They're been subjected to the elements or the extreme heat or too much moisture or just through over time, they gradually disintegrate and it's very difficult to put them back together. The alliance began to disintegrate when the two countries couldn't agree on trade policies. We can use disintegrate in this sense too, meaning like for a relationship or some kind of organization to, they're not communicating very well. Eventually, it all disintegrates. So we can use it in a wide variety of different ways. Here's a quote from Billy Graham, a prominent Christian evangelist, when he was speaking about the topic of resilience. But now we have a choice, whether to implode and disintegrate emotionally and spiritually as a people and a nation, or whether we choose to become stronger through all of this struggle, to rebuild on a solid foundation. As you can see, the toilet paper has disintegrated. It can never be put back together. The second verb is retaliate. 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 This is what it means in Japanese. Retaliate means to fight back. If someone does something bad to you, you want to do something bad to them. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If I punched you in the face, then you might want to punch my face back to retaliate. It's kind of like revenge. I remember my dad used to tell me, Scott, don't retaliate, whenever my big brother punched me or kicked me. You know, as brothers do. I guess my big brother wanted me to retaliate, because that would mean I was annoyed. Boys will be boys, eh? Now, there are many different ways we can use retaliate. Physical confrontation. So this is often used in wars, to retaliate. The next one is social or personal conflicts. So this is like, things like spreading rumors about someone to kind of like get revenge on them. It's kind of like retaliation. The next one is workplace or professional contexts. At work, if someone doesn't follow the company rules properly and you want to kind of retaliate against them, can be used in that way. And then the last one is in legal and political contexts. So we could take the example of making new laws to retaliate against cyber attacks, to retaliate against some kind of attack. She felt insulted by his comment, so she retaliated with a sharp remark. So we get this all the time, don't we? Someone says some kind of nasty comment and you just can't control yourself. So you make some kind of comment back, kind of like a little argument, but it can be very petty. So in this case, we can also use the verb to retaliate with some kind of comment or a remark. When the company was criticized in the media, they retaliated by launching a counter-advertising campaign. So when companies are kind of like bashed online or the media say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this kind of advertising, then they can completely turn it around and retaliate to all those terrible comments or all those terrible media reports by doing a completely different advertising campaign as a kind of revenge, or to say, I told you so, look at us now. It's retaliation. They retaliate against the media. Let's have a real-life quote from Lewis Howes, a successful entrepreneur, author, and podcast host from the US of A. Unfortunately, the higher you climb in social media, the more people will want to throw stones at you. But don't retaliate publicly. We've got a new guy in the kitchens. His name's Philip. He's just graduated from culinary school, so he's still a bit wet behind the ears, So I was talking to some of his teachers at the college, and they said actually he's really good at making pastries. So I said, okay, let's give him a chance. And I said, today you're going to make 20 apple pies, individual ones, yeah? So he got them made up and he put them in the oven, baked them, and then when it was time to take them out, he put them on the plate and they just disintegrated. What a mess. I don't know what happened. He must have got messed up with ingredients or something. But all the other guys in the kitchen, they're all killing themselves laughing. They're all teasing him. He's the new guy. He's very young. But he didn't retaliate. What did he do? He said, chef, give me a chance. I want to make some more. So he made some more, and the next time they were fine. Really good, actually. So I think that shows a lot of strength of character. He didn't retaliate, even though the pies disintegrated. He's a good guy. The third verb is thrive. 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 What does it mean in Japanese? Thrive is a really positive word, and it means to be doing really well, to be healthy, and to be enjoying the whole process. If you say someone is thriving, then it means they are having a great life at school, at work, or life in general. Think of it like a plant. If the plant is lush and green and looks strong and healthy and has lots of lovely new leaves, we can say it is thriving. We use it for talking about things going well in business, economies, and cities. India's economy is thriving. Amazon seems to be thriving. The rainforest's ecosystem allows many species to thrive, thanks to its warm temperatures and abundant rainfall. So that's a really good example of thrive. A lot of birds or reptiles or plants and all kinds of things, they all thrive in the rainforest. When you think of the rainforest, you just think of growth and lushness and greenery, don't you? She thrives in a fast-paced environment where she can multitask and solve complex problems. So some people, depending on where they work, they thrive in a particular environment or a particular, setting. So some people, they thrive working alone. Some people, they thrive working in a fast-paced environment. Other people, they thrive, they do really well working as part of a team. Everybody's different. We all thrive in different ways. Let's have a quote from Henry Cavill, the British actor who played the part of Superman in the DC Extended Universe films. Some people thrive under pressure, but pressure can also ruin your performance. It can push you down angles which you don't want to go. Next up, we've got reciprocate. 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 In Japanese, you'd say, putting it simply, reciprocate means when someone does something nice for you, you do something nice for them in return. In other words, it means to return a favor or act of kindness. Let's take this as an example. Imagine your colleague offers to help you with a project that you're working on, and they stay really late into the night to help you meet your deadline. You might reciprocate by assisting them with a future project or offering support when they need help. It's a lovely verb which seems to go hand in hand with Japanese culture. After receiving unexpected help from his neighbor, he planned to reciprocate by offering to pet sit while they were on vacation. So there we go, that's another really good example. Someone did a really nice thing for you, so you want to reciprocate by offering to do something really nice for them. Reciprocate, lovely. In relationships, it's important to reciprocate affection and support to maintain a healthy dynamic. So that goes without saying, isn't it? So if your partner, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, if it's all one way, then the other person who's doing all the nice stuff and you never do anything nice back to them, well, eventually I think your relationship is going to fall apart and it's game over. But if you reciprocate, if they do something nice for you and then you reciprocate by doing something nice for them in return, well, it makes for, a happy relationship, doesn't it? Here's a quote from Matthew McConaughey, the American actor who said this during his Academy Awards acceptance speech. He wanted to highlight the fact that expressing gratitude leads to more generosity from others. It's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. I thrive on the battlefield. I just thrive. This is where I feel most at home, protecting my king and my country. Yes, it's not an easy thing to do, but this is what I do. Just the other day, I was fighting in a battle with my brother, and he was being attacked by the enemy. So I chopped off his arm with an axe. The next day, my brother reciprocated by saving my life. That's what we do. We gotta look out for each other. Charge! It's homework time. And remember, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you found this video to be useful in any way, remember to give a thumbs up. It would really help me out. So what we're going to do this time, I'm going to give you 3 words, and here's your task. Please make a sentence using the following words: thrive, career, overseas. So use those 3 words, make any kind of sentence or multiple sentences if you really want to. That's great too. And remember, don't be afraid of making mistakes. I make loads of mistakes in these videos. I'm sure you've seen them. Okay, so put your answers down in the comments below, and I'll check your answers as soon as I have time. Good luck.